Hello students, here is Ashu Gupta, Assistant Professor. Again welcomes you all on the behalf of Indraprasth Law College. In today's lecture, we are going to discuss about the specific provision regarding the powers of UP Revenue Code 2006, and while before discussing it, we have to know the constitution and jurisdiction of the Revenue Board, which are already discussed in the previous lecture. So now let's open the box and start the slide. Now you may see it on that PPT and firstly memorize the previous one in short as a revenue board, which is the meaning of that revenue board contained with section 4 subclause 6 in chapter 1 of that code, and after that you can memorize the constitution of the revenue board, which is contained in chapter 3rd under section 7 or 8 of that code, wherein a chairman and some other members have been engaged with the revenue board and representing as a chief controlling authority under section 8 of the revenue code. Hope you memorize it, wherein we have already discussed the constitution and jurisdiction of the revenue board in detail under the provisions of this code. Now the turn goes to understand the powers of the revenue board. So move on the next slide. Now we are going to discuss about the powers of the revenue board, which is given under section 9 and 10 of that UP Revenue Code 2006. And according to that section 9 of this code, basically the board may distribute its business amongst its members as the board may deem fit, and the chairman may constitute bench or benches consisting of more than one member for disposal of the case of UP Revenue Code 2006 relating to that code. Basically, that's why you may see that a chairman also constitute a bench or benches relating to the matters of the agricultural land or the UP Revenue Code 2006. सो चेयरमैन चाहे तो यहाँ पर दो या दो से ज़्यादा जजेस की बेंच भी यहाँ पर बैठा सकता है रेवेन्यू बोर्ड में. तो यू मे सी दैट under section 9 of that UP Revenue Code 2006. Let's move on the next slide. And another provisions according to section 9 of that code is all orders made or decrees passed by a member of the board in accordance with such distribution shall be deemed to be the orders or decrees. ऐसे बोर्ड के द्वारा जो भी डिसीजन लिया जाएगा वो डिक्री की तरह या ऑर्डर की तरह कंसिडरेशन में आएगा. सो लेट्स मूव ऑन द नेक्स्ट स्लाइड. According to section 10 of the UP Revenue Code 2006, basically that represents the decision of the board in that code, where any proceedings coming under the consideration of the board on appeal or in revision is heard by a bench composed of 2 or more members. तो बेसिकली यहाँ पर बोर्ड ऑफ अपील की बात की है, तो अगर अपील होती है तो यहाँ पर अपील भी की जा सकती है रिवेन्यू बोर्ड में. लेट्स मूव ऑन द नेक्स्ट स्लाइड. And the another provision is giving under section 10 of that code is where the members of the board constituting the bench are equally divided in opinion as to the decision of a case, it shall be heard by a larger bench to be constituted by the chairman. The case shall be decided in accordance with the opinion of the members consisting such bench or of the majority of such members. मेजॉरिटी के हिसाब से जो भी डिसीजन होगा, अगर बेंच बैठती है तो मेजॉरिटी के हिसाब से उसके डिसीजन को फॉलो किया जाएगा. and all decisions given by a member sitting singly or by a division bench comprising 2 members or a larger bench constituting as a first shall be deemed to be decisions of the board. और ऐसे decision को फाइनली जैसे पहले भी बताया था डिग्री ऑर्डर्स के तौर पर फॉलो किया जाएगा. एंड in another power of the UP Revenue Code, according to section 210 of the UP Revenue Code, that may be described as a power to call for the records. The board or the commissioner may call for the record of any suit or proceeding decided by any subordinate revenue code. And no application under this section shall be entertained after the expiry of a period of 60 days from the date of the order sought to be revised. So 60 days के बाद इसका एक टर्म पीरियड दिया गया है कि अगर कोई भी एप्लीकेशन इसमें एंटरटेन करनी है रेवेन्यू बोर्ड में तो 60 डेज के अंतर्गत की जानी चाहिए. लेट्स मूव ऑन द नेक्स्ट स्लाइड. When section 211 of the UP Revenue Code enumerates the review power of the revenue board. There is basically a revival power of that board. No order, according to which no order shall be revived under subsection 1 except on the following grounds: discovery of any new important matter or evidence, some mistake or error apparent on the face of the record, or any other sufficient reason. Basically अगर रिवेन्यू बोर्ड ने कोई भी डिसीजन दे दिया है तो उसका रिव्यू नहीं किया जा सकता सिवाय इन 3 कंडीशंस के छोड़कर, जहां पर कोई एक नया इंपॉर्टेंट एविडेंस सामने आ गया हो जो पहले नहीं आया था ऑन द टाइम ऑफ हियरिंग. उसके बाद दूसरा, कहीं कोई मिस्टेक, अपरेंट मिस्टेक दिख रही है रिकॉर्ड पर और वो पकड़ में आती है बाद में. And any other sufficient reason which may be think as a fit by the judges. Let's move on the next slide. And according to that section 211 of this code, orders passed on review shall not be revived. An application for review of any order may be moved within 60 days from the date of such order. So यहाँ पर सीधा कह दिया गया कि इसके ऑर्डर को जो भी रिवेन्यू बोर्ड ऑर्डर देता है shall not be revived, लेकिन 60 डेज में इसकी अपील की जा सकती है. In some cases, not in all, in some cases that will be appealed by the High Court. So these are the basic powers of the UP Revenue Board contained in the various provisions of this code as discussed with you through this PPT slides. Hope you will enjoy the whole session and successfully enumerated it into your study and be benefited from this presentation. Thank you. We will meet soon with a new session. Be safe and stay at home during this pandemic era.